sometimes in life we can't move until a fire get lit under our behinds. You know what I'm saying? Take me for instance. When I finally got to a place where just a little place, because for me this was a big step, because I've always been a people pleaser. I've always cared about what people would think and what people would say if I did this and if I did that. And it was this one moment in my life where at that moment I threw everybody in the trash. I pushed everybody to the back burner, because at this time this decision was going to be made for me and my child, for my sanity and for my peace. I'm not doing it to hurt anybody. I'm doing it because I'm miserable where I'm at. I'm not happy where I'm at. And there's only one thing you can do about that. That's change it. Do something different with that you got going on. So at that time, this was some years ago. I was living on my own, but I still felt like I wasn't on my own. You know what I'm saying? I had a house full of people. I had unwanted guests. I had guests that I did want there, but things was getting crazy chaotic. I mean, it was to the point where when I say I didn't value myself at all, not even a little bit. I got mad about things. I felt things, but I never spoke on them, and I just let things happen to me. So I'm not going to blame anybody else, but I am going to say you could have been more considerate to my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Whether I say something or not, still be considerate to people's stuff. So this is going to be a part one to the buildup of me getting that fire lit under my behind for me to change and grow in my life. That step that made me get there. So I moved into my very own place. I had my son at 21. I finally get my first place. And I am proud and happy with my first place, because I did it on my own with nobody help, nobody's extra money, nobody's nothing. I got that place on my own. I did the footwork to get into my place. I furnished my place. I bought everything for my place, and so I was happy. I was proud. I felt like a woman. I felt like a grown up at that time. And so yes, I valued my place. So I have my brother come over. You know, he brings his friends and stuff over. I don't mind people coming over and chilling in my place, but I was a neat freak. I didn't want my house dirty. I stayed cleaning up. People would come invite me to places and I would not go anywhere because I want to be home. I want to be home in my house, and I always felt like my house was not clean enough. But when people came into my home, people say, girl, this house is clean. I can eat off your bathroom floor. And it was true. They could, but I valued my place. I was proud of my place. And then people started coming into my space and changing up my atmosphere. And now it no longer feels like it's my space anymore. It's everybody's space. So this one particular situation happened where I'm working. I go to work. My brother comes over and he chills at my house. You know, he can bring his little friends, his company or whatever to my crib and y'all can chill. That's cool. But he wasn't controlling how his friends and his company were handling my place. So when I would come home from work, there would be dishes everywhere. The house is a total mess. So when I walk in my house, after I just told you I'm a neat freak and I was valuing my place, I come through the door from work and my house like a tornado ran through it. Because I didn't have any muscle in me to speak my mind, to tell him, hey, I don't like when I come home and I see my house tore up like this. I was quiet. I always considered other people's feelings. But at this time, I should have considered my own, but I didn't, because I didn't want confrontation. I didn't want nobody to feel like I was being mean and this, that, and the third. And so I didn't say anything. And I just let it keep happening. Keep happening. Keep happening. And it got worse and worse and worse. So what ends up happening is that I end up changing furniture sets. The first set of furniture I had was brownish or something like that. Then my second set of furniture that I got was beige, dang near white, beige furniture. I come home from work one day and these kids that my brother invited over is jumping on my couches. My pillows are on the floor, which are beige. I mean, it was just a total disaster. But because I was not in a place where I could open my mouth up and speak my mind, I said nothing. I walked through the door, eyes big as day. He know I'm pissed. He can see my face. He know I'm pissed. And I'm going to tell you how I know he know I was pissed. So here I am. I'm pissed. I mean, I'm to the point where I go to my room. I shut my door and I start crying because I'm like, wow. Really? I mean, like, that's beige furniture. Like, even if it was purple, blue, or green, still, y'all are in here jumping on my couch when I left home. When y'all came in while I was at work, my house was clean. But I come home from work to a tornado done ran through my house. Every part of my living room, my kitchen is a mess. And so after it goes on for a while, I guess my brother got tired of me not saying something to him. So he comes to me and says to me, did that bother you when you... No, he said, I know that bothered you when you walked through the door and seen your house a mess. I said, yes, it did. He said, well, why you never said anything to me? And in my mind at that time, because I'm just so people-pleasing, I'm like, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, but I don't like for people to be on my furniture and stuff like that, and I don't like a dirty house. You know what I'm saying? But it was so much more that I could have said, because this is my house. This is where me and my baby gotta stay. I like a clean house. I don't like a mess. And then I go to work and I come home. I want a clean house when I come home, because really the way I'm set up is when I get off work, I'm feeling like I need to go home and find something to clean up, whether it be I mop the floor or I go and wipe the counters off or whatever. And I just did those things before I left to go to work. But I liked it a clean house. And then for me to come home and see that, it freaked me out. It pissed me off. But I couldn't open my mouth at the time and say anything. So he's like, why you didn't just come to me and say something? Now, with me being an adult and with my mind that I have now, why would you even think it's cool to have these kids jumping over my furniture, tearing my house up, and then I got to come home and walk through the door and look at this mess when I've already cleaned my house up before I left and went to work? I shouldn't even walked in the house to that. So it was crazy. My peace was being played with. And I tell you, I walked away from everything. But when the fire get put under your butt, you ain't got no choice but to move at that point. So there's things in people's life that's holding them back. But until that fire gets put under your behind, you gonna stay in that place. But baby, once that fire get burning, oh, you gonna be a flaming fireball. And you gonna tear up everything in your path, because that fire is too hot. And you gotta move. You gotta do something different. So don't let that fire get under your behind just to make a change in your life. Grow. Growing is beautiful. Growing takes you to different levels in your life. Growing it makes you feel better. I may not be explaining it the best way, but for me, this is what it did for me. With growth came maturity. I still like to please people from time to time, but I'm going to please myself first. And if it's going to work for me, then I can make it do what it do for you. But if it ain't going to work for me, then I'm not going to go above and beyond to make you happy and I'm over here miserable. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. But y'all stay blessed until the next time. Keep growing. Grow your heart, grow your strength, grow your mind, and keep a prayer life. Y'all have a great day.